With all the Switch 2 leaks that are occurring right now, there's a detail that I think that could hint at the possibility of Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD returning and coming back for the new console. And I think it's going to be very, very likely that we see these games finally come to the Nintendo Switch platform. Now, if you're not familiar or if you haven't really seen it, then I'm shocked because the Switch 2 is the worst kept secret in all of gaming right now. There has been so many leaks for this console that it's been ridiculous. The CES showcase that was happening last week had third-party accessory developers like Dbrand and Genki showing off the new Joycons, showing off, like some grips that they have developed for this. We have mock-ups of the Switch 2. We have people using the files to 3D print copies of them to have mock-ups. So it's literally the worst kept secret in all of gaming right now. And if Nintendo doesn't show this thing off soon, then I don't know what's going to happen for them. But the thing that I want to talk about today is the likelihood of some Wii U titles coming back for this new console. Because if you've seen the leaks or if you've seen the Joy-Cons or images of the Joy-Cons, then you'll notice that there is this mysterious C button. And a lot of people have kind of come to the conclusion that this could be a cast function, much like we saw on the Wii U. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with what the Wii U is, this was the console before the Switch, and that was one of the main key functions of that console, was that you had the gamepad, and if you wanted to take what was on your TV and put it onto the gamepad so that someone could use the TV, you would press that button, and it would bring what's on the television to that screen and vice versa. You could cast back to the television itself. But the Wii U gamepad also functioned as an additional screen and basically had gameplay functionality specifically tied to the gamepad. We saw this a lot in every Wii U game for the most part, but especially in the Zelda games. This was a huge part of Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, and how they use their menus. How some of the gameplay functionality revolved around the Wii U gamepad. So, flash forward to the Switch 2 here, we see this mysterious cast button, and I definitely think that shows a stronger likelihood for the Wii U Zeldas to make a comeback because of that functionality, if that is indeed what it is. Hi, Editor Tyler here. Just wanted to make a clarifying statement. What I'm referring to with the C button being indicative of these games being able to come back is that the C button is showing those Wii U features making a return. So what I'm referring to is more of like the dual screen capability that the Wii U had, with some gameplay elements being tied to the gamepad and the TV as well. So that's what I was getting at here. I think I kind of got lost in translation a little bit, saying that the cast functionality specifically was the thing. But no, I think the cast functionality shows that the Wii U elements are going to be implemented on the Switch 2, and that dual screen gameplay functionality is very, very indicative of the Wii U Zeldas making a comeback on the Switch 2. All right, back to the video. The only other thing I've seen people suggest that it could be would be a camera function, which is fine. The Wii U also had a camera function, but none of the mock-ups have shown a camera, as far as I know, at least not what I've seen. More than likely, they are looking at the technology that they really liked from the Wii U and are implementing it into the Switch 2, because the Switch was pretty much, hey, how do we take the Wii U and how do we improve upon that idea of the handheld hybrid console, but allow the player full freedom to take it wherever they like. That was a huge part of what made the Switch so successful. Now we're seeing, we're building upon that foundation that the Switch has, and because the Switch is, it's one of the best-selling consoles of all time. I think it passed the PS2 in America, if I'm not mistaken, as the best-selling console in the United States. So they have a winning formula with the hybrid console system, and I think it's smart that they're sticking with that idea and not going too crazy and in a different direction with a new gimmick. But using the technology and the cool fun factors of the Wii U and implementing them into the new Switch, I think creates this perfect amalgamation of what people enjoyed about the Wii U and about what made the Switch successful. And that is the casting functionality. I think that's going to be a huge new feature for the Switch, is to have that ability to not have to get up and dock your Switch if you want to cast it to the television or play on the TV. Obviously, there's probably going to be a little bit of a difference in quality, you know, because that's a big thing with the Switch currently when you play it in docked versus handheld. So I'm sure if you're casting from the Switch to the TV, you're probably still going to get maybe like handheld quality as compared to having docked quality. But with how people are rumoring this new console to be powerful, as you know, the equivalent that's thrown out there is like it's the equivalent of a PS4 or a PS4 Pro. I can't remember exactly which one, but that's still really good. I think a lot of people forget just how impressive games looked on the PS4, and especially for Nintendo, that's a huge deal. Like, you know, Nintendo has been in 1080p, you know, forever, you know, so they haven't really made that next big leap into the 4K 60 FPS era as being the standard. You know what I mean? So having PS4 quality on a Nintendo console is going to be groundbreaking, and I think it's going to open up so many possibilities for so many different games, especially Zelda. Just the idea of a newer, realistic, modern Zelda that has the capability to look like an Uncharted 4 or to look like a Horizon Zero Dawn or a Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's incredible. And not that they're going to go that super realistic, because Zelda traditionally does not go that super realistic, but they have the technology and the power to create games that look that way now with this console. Additionally, I think this also opens up opportunity for a cult classic Nintendo game to make a return and to be a launch title if there is indeed the cast function that we are seeing for the Switch 2, and that is Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land, if you're not aware, was a launch title game for the Wii U. I think it came with the Wii U, if I'm not mistaken. But it was essentially a game that was built around mini games of a lot of the Nintendo IP. There was a Zelda game, there's Mario games, Donkey Kong. I think there was an Animal Crossing game, if I'm not mistaken. But these games were super fun. They were just super creative, and I remember in Christmas time 2012 playing Nintendo Land and playing with my brother and having just an absolutely amazing time, because it's such a fun game. It gives you that kind of Mario Party vibe. But it's a hidden gem in the Nintendo library that I don't think gets enough recognition, and I think it would make a ton of sense to either bring that game back or to expand upon it and make a newer version with more of the same games or minigame style games that we like and that was enjoyable in Nintendo Land. But that cast feature is going to be a huge, huge indicator for what they're trying to push for the Switch 2. And I think it's the biggest hint we're getting Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD on Nintendo Switch 2. I think it makes a ton of sense to have a Zelda game in the launch window for a new console. If you look at the success of Nintendo's consoles, having big blockbuster titles like a Zelda, like a 3D Mario, like a new Animal Crossing now, I think that's going to set them up for success. And even though it would be ports, I think having those Zelda games specifically on the Switch 2 at launch or close to launch sets them up for success. My cat wants to say hi. Say hi, Waffle. But having those Zelda games at launch is going to make a huge difference in the success of this game, because if you look at what Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD done sales-wise, they did fairly well for re-releases, of course, but the install base for the Switch, and presumably what it's going to be for the Switch 2, is going to be significantly more than what it was on the Wii U. So there is definitely opportunity for them to make extra money and more sales off of these games that they've already done most of the work for. You know, it's just the issue of porting them, which I don't want to claim to know how game development goes, but I'm just assuming it would be easier for them to do that. And I think that's a great way for them to capitalize and make the Switch 2 a success on launch, and have two of the most highly acclaimed and fan-loved Zelda games available for people who want to play them portably and for people who have never played them. And I think this would be a great way to introduce those titles to people. If for no other reason than there is just a huge demand for Zelda in the current state of Nintendo. I think this is the best case scenario for these games to finally come to the Switch, and it's very exciting. And I hope and pray that we get them, because now is the best opportunity we're probably ever going to get for these games, at least in the near future. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think. What kind of games would you like to see? Are you a fan of Nintendo Land? Would you like to see that come back? I'm very, very excited at the prospect of some of those lost hidden gems on the Wii U finally getting their chance to come back. And yeah, I think that's going to be a huge thing for them. Thank you guys so much, as always. Special thanks to channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a button down here somewhere that says join. You can get exclusive perks like roles in my Discord, as well as channel emotes and icons. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Subscribe if you would like to see more content on The Legend of Zelda, on Nintendo, on all things gaming. We are going to be covering a lot of stuff this year, and I'm very excited. The Switch 2 is right around the corner. Only a couple more months before, you know, we probably actually get our hands on this, and hopefully we'll get an official reveal very soon, because Nintendo, you playing around too much, man. We know pretty much everything about this console already. It's time for us to see it. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Until next time, I will see you in the next one, and have a great